Now I face up, I hold up, I reach out to the truth of my life, seeking to seize on the whole moment, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to our second match of the day for Zojalyx's Bingo Bonanza. My name is Chuck Nicey, and joining me today is Willie Fetty. You probably saw him a little bit earlier today. Say hi, Fetty.
That's me.
That is you.
That's me.
We have that commentator.
I know, dude. I'm actually excited.
Well, welcome, Fetty. We're gonna go ahead and get started with a few of the stats here for Zoe and Sap. I got a little thrown off because I was hearing myself in the feed.
It's all good. I get you 100%.
Let's take a look at these two runners.
Sure. I guess I can start. We're having a hardware versus emulator battle because nothing was agreed on beforehand, which is kind of crazy. This is like we're still going off of blackout times here. Both of these people have advanced further in both of their respective brackets. We are in losers bracket though, so we are second seed in losers bracket. But the cool thing about it is that throughout all of these matches, Chuck, that you've probably seen, the average blackout time doesn't really matter that much anymore because blackouts are those full boards that we use to seed, and now basically we are getting more competitive matches than we were getting in the due to seeding stuff. We're getting bigger games. But speaking of seeding, Chuck, seed number 4 and seed number 6, how are you feeling?
I mean, we're fairly close in the seed numbers here. Like you said, the blackout time doesn't matter quite as much. The times have been really different from the blackout times, as I understand it. But pitting these two so close together, especially knowing how each of these guys tackled their any percent runs and how absolutely competent and locked in they can be with those runs, it doesn't surprise me that they are seated so close to each other in this bracket, and I'm very excited to see what they pull out during this bingo run.
Definitely. Favorite speed games, new category, like a new little stat for both of our players, and also for everyone who's still remaining. Persona 4 Golden for Zoe and Burger King is Sneak King, kind of a classic coming out of SAP. If y'all haven't really played it, it's actually pretty fun. They both Zoe's been running since May 2018. SAP's been running since January 2025. A little bit of a fresh runner that we have here. And their most hated tasks are get 7,000 points in zipline training, which I can understand, and complete underwater trench without jumping on hard. Honestly, two of the tasks that I'm sure are everyone's most hated tasks, whenever you really break them down. But they are the two big boys that everyone kind of gets stuck on whenever it comes to being. So if we see them on the board, I'm sure either one of those tasks are going to be completed last. We haven't really got a board that has both of them on them yet. So I'm kind of waiting on that, Chuck, to get both of them, to get both of those on one board. Maybe we'll see it tonight. Those.
Absolutely. I am excited to see just the absolute devilish board that could possibly pop up. I really want to see it. I want to see the struggle. I want to see the grit. I want to see these guys overcome whatever challenges pop up on that bingo board. And our challengers look ready. Zoe locking in right at the screen, and Sap, I guess, ready to pack a Scooby snack. I recognize that clip from that video. I love that video. And that's gonna absolutely distract me as we move forward.
Here,
but
then I'll go ahead and say it again. The level select screen is supposed to be where we're starting. If Zoe wants to start on that is fine. But yeah, if you want to ask them if they're ready, get them set up, Chuck. Just going, or Byron, whichever one of y'all want to do it. Byron's running tech right now. If anyone in chat wants to. But yeah, we are getting set to go. You want to count them down?
Absolutely.
Get set to go here and see exactly what we're doing. We haven't revealed the board yet for us either. We probably should start revealing the board and talking about it more. But as this board gets revealed, do you see any problems coming up with this, Chuck? Like right here, just straight up, first things you see.
Let's see. Destroy 8 lasers. Might take a little bit of time. Let's see. Hostage situation with no webs. That can be... even if we don't get the 7,000 in the zipline training, we might see it being... We might see that level being visited as we need to fully deplete web cartridges.
That is a good level to also do it. I usually do it on like presses or something like that, as immediately we get one cycle, or we get one cycle attempt from Sap that seems to go bad, as Zoe is completing hidden switches right here. But one cycle Scorpion immediately from Sap. I'm just looking at what he's checked off already, and it looks like we get Sap on the one cycle Scorpion. Zoe looks like he's going for lizards. Is there something? So yeah, kill 10 lizards and hidden switches. I'm sure there's got to be another one from him going through and pressing all 3 of the buttons. I haven't really. I'm still like, still looking.
Right. I wonder if hitting all the buttons in the hidden switches here is what causes more and more lizards to spawn, and that's why he's hitting those buttons.
It looks like get the comic. Wait, it was right above it. We just both didn't see it.
No, I'm blind.
As Sap fully depletes his web cartridges. Win to hard mode there. The kind of the easier of the two to completely deplete your web cartridges. As we get, Zoe is honestly right now probably looking for something. I was like so confused for a second. I was like, wait, is there something in there? But yeah, I'm not really seeing any lines coming out of everyone.
There's a line that I could see here if they want to tackle Waterfront Warehouse, because there's Waterfront Warehouse, no skips, and Waterfront Warehouse without webs. Those could be done in one go, and then complete right afterwards. Complete Underwater Trench without jumping on hard. So if they really wanted to challenge themselves, they could do Waterfront Warehouse on hard and then go straight into Underwater Trench.
It's true. I do see Zoe, he's going ahead and getting the no skips out of the way while Sap was getting press all the buttons in Venom Puzzle. The cool thing about no skips is that, like, if you follow the routes that everybody has set up, which, Zoe is messing up a little bit on routing, but if you follow over the routes that, the no skips have set up, then, you do tend to go by quicker, as Sap's going into Monster Awk right now. I'm guessing they both did not want a one cycle Doc Ock at this point in time, but yeah, it's kind of like there isn't a lot of lines here that I'm seeing. I'm just like, I'm taking a second to look.
The line I mentioned can be expanded a little bit, because after Underwater Trench, there's Get the Comic and Stopping the Fog. Sap has taken care of that, and now that he's done, he can go straight into one cycle Doc Ock by finishing this level or just moving on to the next one. So there is a bit of that line there as well. So there's 2 levels that have no web being used. But I agree. I think a lot of these levels are just too long to string together, except for chaining Waterfront Warehouse into Underwater Trench.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing that you were saying about Trench as Sap gets bullied by Symbio here. The thing you were saying about Trench is that basically also you have like these weird, these weird ones. Like you have destroy 8 lasers, could be in between it, right? If you go through Warehouse, you could just go ahead and destroy 8 lasers on your way into Stopping the Fog, right? If you were like just looking at the whole thing. But I think Warehouse is honestly where you would go just for a lot of these, right? But then you have the random ones like beat through a cavern without touching any pipes, right? That you just have to menu, right? You have to menu that.
And speaking of menuing, Sap is menuing to get hit by all 3 rollers in Lizard's Maze, it looks like.
Yep, I don't know if he did kid mode or not, because he's been on the commentator booth a couple of times being like, hey, kid mode's how you get hit by all of them without dying. And I'm guessing what he's doing is he was going to do the last 2 rollers first. Another thing he has mentioned about it, as you have Zoe getting the comic and police chopper chase. Just honestly, these competitors are staying really close and it like really competitive, just off top, right? Like Zoe may be in the back lines here, but there's a lot of hard tasks, especially for people like. I want to say this, like, it's just like for people who have never ran this game before, these are a lot of like weird tasks that you're going by as Sap Isaac Kid, which is very yeah, these are a lot of weird tasks that you really kind of have to go through, like completing hostage situation without any webs. You got to think for people who speedrun this game, those were just really, really long levels. Kid mode on Brace of the Bugle, they're just really long levels for no reason. It's almost like the creators of Bingo just hated everybody and everything, right? So, as you see, Sap still on Lizard's Maze. I don't know if we missed. Yeah, it looks like we missed him getting hit with a roller. You know what? If it counts, it counts. I don't know if I heard it get hit by a roller or not, but it counts, it counts. I'm not gonna at this point. You know what I mean? At this point, I ain't gonna say anything.
Right. Luckily, we have Spyron here on tech, who can also keep an eye on things if need be. Our problem is just that we are a little out of sync with the footage here, so we'll try to keep up best as we can. Speaking to your point about some of these weird tasks, some of them aren't necessarily hard, but when you consider racing against another person, the time that they take up adds a level of strategy to the race that can really make for good content, I would say.
That is very true. Like, complete speed trading 3 is just like, I would be so mad. You know how mad I would be if I was staring down the barrel of that in a race? I would be so mad. But you do have Zoe unlocking the Ben Riley suit, going for that as, wait, isn't this Scarlet? Am I confused? Is this Scarlet Spider or is this Ben Riley? Like, am I confused?
Ben Riley is this
Rhino,
one. I
right?
thought
Is Rhino?
No.
Ben Riley's Rhino, right?
Ben Riley.
Yeah, Ben Riley's Rhino. Okay, cool. Hey, my brain from earlier, because I'm pretty sure I went over this earlier, but Ben Riley is that one.
Yes, Ben Riley is Venom 2, and,
Thank you.
and Scarlet Spider is Rhino.
My brain is hurting.
Brain hurty.
My brain hurting.
So it looks like Zoe is moving on to killing all 6 enemies in Sib. As Zoe is going to attempt the one cycle Awk. This one can take up a lot of time if he goofs it up on the first round. That's for sure.
Zap is gonna go through a lot of trouble for one cycling this, especially because he's on hardware. It is one of those things that people don't want to talk about who run this game because most of the people run it on emulator. But it is honestly a emulator diff, to be honest, as Sap is probably going in here. I don't know if, it's like, he was a little too close for the spawn, so he is having trouble with this one cycle. Okay, well, never mind. I was trying to give him that, but
You're too kind, Fetty.
Tech comes in and just ruins it. So thanks, Tech. I appreciate it.
All of that when you could have just said skill issue, but
that's true. I could have just been like, yeah, you know what? It's a skill issue. As Zoe's finishing up the last of SIB here. This might be my most hated task. I might have to change it to this one. As Sap just going ahead and clearing out Mysterio. Getting that done.
Getting that comic. Yeah.
The one that is honestly, this one's a lot more devious for people who haven't ran the game before. It could despawn, so there's always that. As Zoe finally finishing that up, does look like Zoe's pulled ahead a little bit, huh? That one cycle seemed to have really put Sap in a weird spot.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's part of the sort of time difference that really forces you to strategize. Sap deciding to just give up the one cycle altogether to move on to the next task, and I think that's a smart decision, if I'm going to be honest. You gotta take the L. You gotta take the L's if you gotta take the L's where you have to, and just move on from there, right?
Right. Most definitely. It's a good thing to know when to quit, right? Especially in a race environment. It's not something you say every day, on every single thing. Sap's probably counting right here. He's counting his lasers. But Zoe definitely is the better at the two. So we could see Zoe not mess up one cycle here, and then honestly, you could say it might have been a good trade-off as Zoe does complete one cycle Og. We get a little bit of a spoiler for the bingo card getting clicked, because we are on a little bit of delay. But yeah, Zoe is better at one cycling, so you could say for Sap, this is a better trade to just cut it and go, right? Knowing Zoe is going to try to attempt one cycle at some point, just like, hey, let me go ahead and knock lasers out. Let me get this out of the way. So, I mean, hey, I see a strategy where Sap could come back by just actually taking a moment to look at the board and just kind of place himself in like the mind of Zoe and try to get the ones that Zoe is not going to do.
Looks
As
like
we
Sap's
see-
heading back into Lizard's Maze. Looking to get hit by all three rollers, perhaps?
He gave up on that earlier, I'm guessing too, because he was in here. So
Right. So now he's thinking, okay, now it's got to be done. Let's get in there, and he falls into the water. That's a bunch of time wasted as Zoe
Zoe is doing
is
it
going
without webs. He sees
and
it. He sees the line.
and he's doing it no skips as well.
Yep. He sees the line. Now, I don't know if you can do this skip without webs. I haven't thought about it. Maybe if you jump in the right place, you can do it without webs.
It'd be
I
tough to
haven't
get
really
behind
thought
that
about it.
barrel.
Yeah, I definitely haven't thought about it, but I definitely want to try it. Sap is having trouble with underwater trench, right? Or not underwater trench,
Lizard's Maze.
Lizard's Maze right now. He's having a lot of trouble. Granted, we all have trouble during the speed run a little bit with zipping, but he's having a lot of trouble getting that through. As Zoe coming around the last little bend for Warehouse right now. We'll see if he marks them both off. He did indeed mark them both off. We're getting a little bit of a spoiler here. He did indeed mark them both off, and that puts Zoe up to what is it, 11? Yeah, puts Zoe up to 11. If I was Sap right now, I'd be kind of panicking, right? Which is why I think he went back to the strategy of let's get hit by all the rollers, right? And that's you kind of fall back into the one that you were doing earlier. Granted, it might be a little bit of Sap's tilt that has gotten him here, as you see Zoe loading up kid mode, Race to the Bugle. Another one that takes a lot of time. Zoe trying to stretch this out a little bit, I guess. But it is.
Zoe's got the time for it.
He
Zoe's got the
definitely does.
time, and even if this goes on forever, and Sap catches up a little bit, I think the worst that would happen is they end up on an even playing field. So
Very, very
that's
true.
still for Zoe's advantage, because then he just moves on to something quicker afterwards.
Yep, as Sap finally getting hit by that last roller. Like I said, we are on a little bit of a delay. So we're going to see exactly where he goes. Looks like straight into Monster Rock. Going ahead and knocking that out. Maybe he does have the stream up, and he's like, hey, since Zoe's going for kid mode right now, I have a little bit of extra time to kind of knock out one of those longer levels. As Zoe locking up, yeah, did he just lock up? Yeah, he just locked up kid mode. Now it's all up, like the rest of these, like, so we didn't even talk about complete underwater trench without jumping on hard. We mentioned it a little bit, but that is on here. It is the big boy, right? So if Sap does something to maybe tie this up any way, shape, or, he has to get 2. Right? Or no, you have to get 3 at this point. You have to get speed training would be what I'd go for. God pipes, and then the monster up. What you would do. Because
Well, it looks like Zoe
webs is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to take a
Zoe's
while.
Going straight in there.
Straight into sewer cavern, and that's going to force Sap's hand for what's left to take care of. That's unfortunate.
This is Zoe's last test. If he can get it, and he also Sap did just get killed by Monster Rock as well. So this one might be GG. If Zoe can land this, which it doesn't look like he can, it's honestly at this point you can say whatever you want, right? God pipes still hard after all this time.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And even if this does end up GG's for Zoe, we still have 2 more rounds, or at least 1 more round, to see how Sap can bring it back. from the brink. So it's not over until those rounds are all set. And for Zoe, it's not over until he finally clears those pipes. Having a little trouble. This is attempt number 3.
Yep, and God Pipe's been ever the killer of runs, and now it's killing off Bingo. It is one of those things where people just kind of sleep on how hard this trick is, and like honestly, how hard it is just to actually get lined up, because you have to keep dodging those pipes exactly like what Zoe just did, where you have to keep dodging those pipes, and you will lose height if you don't have enough momentum, right? So it just kind of gets troublesome every now and again, as Sap is honestly, like, yeah, he's got a little bit of ways to go. He is in Monster Rock. He's got a little bit of time left, right? But if Zoe keeps struggling with this, he might have to swap over to something else. Maybe SIB without webs. Maybe speed trading 3. You know, something like that.
Maybe beat Sap in the 2 comics in Monster Rock. Who knows?
Exactly. You were just talking about it. Is know when to quit, right? Know when to quit was whenever we were just talking about that. Speed training, it might take a while, right? But you're in such a lead that as long as you know confidently, like this next pick right here, as long as you know confidently as soon as he hits the 2 comics that you have time, right? As Zoe finally completing it. And that is GG's. That is pencils down for our runners. And honestly, I was just saying, like, yeah, sometimes you gotta call it, right? But it's a good thing he didn't.
So it looks like we have 3 more.
Do we have? I thought it was just one more round. I thought it was just one more.
Oh, maybe I misunderstood exactly how many Zoe had. So let me check here. 1, 2, 6.
No, he has
10.
13. I'm looking at the number.
Okay.
I just typed. I told her to.
Oh, I see it. Yep, I see it. You're right. Pencils down.
I mean, hey, it was honestly, it was a good run. It was a good run.
Absolutely. So let's gear up for round number 2. Zoe taking the first round with 13 to Sap's 9. A solid 4-task lead in that first round. But
you could think that it looks bad, but honestly, I think Sap just got in his own head. I really do think that this could span out a lot more rounds with them, especially if the board, like we were saying, the board has just been brutal in this first match. So.
The board was unkind, specifically with challenges that just kind of took a while. Had a lot of long resets to them if you failed. There was only a couple of tasks that would have been just daunting on their own. That being, not jumping in underwater trench. But past that, a lot of it was just time management. And if you're failing these easier tasks, that can put a lot of pressure on you in terms of time. And unfortunately, that just worked against Sap in this round. But we are on to round 2. So we will go ahead.
I'll count them down.
Indeed, although it looks like Spyron is on it. Oh, never mind. Go ahead. And we are off. We are off.
It was me all along. Spyron's saying that there's no stream delay on our end, which is honestly good. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that over to the side of my screen here. But honestly, the board is, die by drowning. Right in the middle.
Quick.
That is a give me. That is a give me space right there.
If we were playing actual bingo rules, that would have been the one to grab for sure.
Yeah, that is a free space right there. For anybody who needs that. That is a free space. Die by a press is also there as we get Zoe, one cycling Scorpion. Looks like he got extremely lucky. He got extremely lucky on his Jonah roll there. As Sap doing exactly what I would do. Die by a press is immediate. It is an immediate. You also have to get the comic and Bugle's basement. Kind of a crazy, fall off subway. We're just watching our competitors really kind of just go through it.
This has got to be cathartic. This has got to be cathartic for both of our runners, but especially Sap after round 1. Just different ways to kill Spider-Man or just fail.
Look, it is what it is right at the end of that. So Yeah, we get elevator skip coming from. This is exactly the route that I just saw, so I know he's like eyeballs are exactly where mine are right now. As you have Zoe on the first level, looks like probably Carnage billboard if I had to guess. Yep.
Yes. Looks like it. So Zoe in the lead once more, but still very, very close.
Now, Sap having a little bit of trouble with elevator skip here. There's also his nemesis is right next to it. Get hit by all 3 rollers and lizard mazes right next to it. So maybe he can redeem himself on this one. It also he's just having a brutal time with elevator skip. If Zoe comes in here and like, okay, Zoe isn't, but if Zoe came in there and like, stole that, I would cry. But yeah, no, we have a 3-3 right now. Zoe's in Venom 1. So, or in
Zoe's
Venom
in
2.
Venom 2.
He's in Venom 2.
Where's Venom 2?
He's drowning MJ.
Oh,
MJ.
yes.
So, and it's honestly, dude, this is a tight race. I'm trying to keep up with our competitors.
Yeah, this is flying by right now. I still can't get over how many of these spaces are just fail conditions, right?
Also, how many of these spaces are Gate Comic? Most of these are Gate Comic. They just basically had an all comics run pop up on their board.
We do have our world record holder for 16 comics as one of our competitors, so I expect those comics to be picked up.
And we have the person who didn't approve his run as well above him.
Oh,
so it's a battle of the 16 comic book live action. As we have a little bit of trading mode coming out. I'm guessing this is kill a specific amount of enemies. Defeat 15 enemies. Races of Bugle comic gotten by Zoe. So, you have escape Monster Awk without webs on here. So see, that would be the last thing that I do on this entire board. Would be escape Monster Awk. Unless you know Sap is on the defeat 15 enemy in a minute, you kind of just got to take, or if you're in the lead, you kind of just have to take your time on this. As we get the comic and building top chase going to Zoe. And they're flying. The chopper just wanted to say hey to Zoe, I guess, but they are flying through.
Sap's cutting it close with the time attack. He's got one more enemy to defeat before the time runs out. And that's it.
Defeated 2 at one time. That's what's up.
Amazing. And that is that for that one. Sap takes that one. Zoe still in the lead by 1.
Yep. And
but
it's one of those things, right, where he's coming in here, right, and he's got a line, 2 comics back to back. And it's one of those things where I wish I would have seen comics. So if I was Sap right now, I'd be like, man, as the screen keeps lighting up blue, I'd be like, man, I wish I would have saw those comics before. Where is this? Oh, it's on. I was like, huh? Both of those are closed. Looks like Sap has not played no skips. This might get to him. Not playing no skips, not knowing the actual routes, as Zoe is defeating Venom 1 without webs at the moment.
Don't need that one right now.
Sap over here doing hidden switches, just getting the comic. I'm pretty sure, right? That's that's
correct.
On here.
Yep, comic and hidden switches.
So we're getting a look at it early. Zoe defeat Venom 1 without webs. It's honestly, this is a close range. They're off of each other by like 1 to 2 entire time. Sap is behind, right? Like Sap is behind. It's not something that's a normal thing. Sap is behind. But honestly, with a good string of comics, like looks like what he's about to do, right? With a good stream of comics, you have a big chance.
That was a beautiful underwater trench comic. That one can trip up a lot of new runners to the comics category for sure. So good on him for getting that first, maybe second try. Didn't quite see. I just know he was quick.
Looks like we're not having a crossover either. Zoe going for getting hit by all 3 rollers. As Sap is in Venom Chase. Looks like the 2.
He's in comic. Yep, he's in comics mode right now.
Yep.
He-
As the 16 world record holder, right? He's gotta be.
Gotta keep
Oh,
up.
he's gotta be on point at all
Used
times.
the Spidey armor much
Yep.
before.
I mean, as one former record holder to another record holder, mad respect. For
Right,
sure.
and he honestly, I don't know why he's going for the old way of doing it. I think he just realized that he probably shouldn't be going through the Venom cutscene right here. He should have been able to back out, because the comic is directly on this route back. So he should have been able to back out as though picking up the comic in Lizard Maze. That's what he was going for. He didn't even see they get hit by all 3 rollers. Like, when you do that while you're there as well, kind of seal the deal. But yeah, he's
Maybe
going for
he-
SIB.
Maybe he's going to force Sap to have to do it again in
Maybe.
order to catch up.
Maybe. And you do see how he's going for comics now. He probably sees that Sap has been getting a lot of comics, so he's cutting them off. Which, honestly, if you're trying to get in your opponent's head and you see that they've been doing a lot of the comic ones, and you just go ahead and snipe those out, yeah, I'd be a little pissed too. And the crazy thing is, if Zoe would have started this level, Catch Venom, he might have been able to get both comics. There's a chance he would have been able to get both comics while Sap was in the cutscene and completely destroy his confidence.
Yeah,
So-
that's the real mind games, is beating the same task as your opponent right then and there. Zoe going for all the fire cartridges in Waterfront Warehouse,
I will
something
say
that'll
that
take a
this
little
one
bit of
pisses me
time.
off. This one probably pisses me off more. Like, it's this one and the Symbiotes of Vespucci make me mad for no reason. I always tend to forget one web cartridge and no one calls me out on it, and I'm like, all right, cool. But yeah, it's one of those things where I don't even know how many I've had now. So as Zoe finishes up the web cartridges, and Sap looks like what is he getting the comic?
He's letting Jonah die.
Let Jonah die. This
Yep.
task sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's the comic strat, and it just takes a long time. But honestly, Sap doesn't have a lot of options.
He doesn't. Maybe you go for the comic and Bugle Basement is what you go for, as Zoe seems to be going for. Maybe that's the one you actually go for, because Zoe only needs 2 more. This is gonna be his last one before he actually gets onto his last task. And let Jonah die could have been a good task for both of them to kind of just sit and let the other one try to attempt it. And that would have been the big thing. Hey, got the comic just to get Yeah, Sap's had to realize why everyone hates this task. This task is going to take a while. So, as Zoe completing the... Does Zoe not know the comic strategy? I'm also very confused. As the look on his face suggests, I am very confused. I don't know if he popped out or not.
Maybe it's because he passed the threshold for all that steam
Maybe.
and it goofed up. But this,
I mean, this
is
Sap's time
exactly
to come back.
Yeah, you know, if Scorpion can actually hit his target,
Yeah, this is a weird
because
diabolical
Jonah is looking for all these different places to hide, but cannot. Man, did Jonah even need Spider-Man to come by?
Zoe forgot about it again. Yeah, I guess honestly, as Jonah goes into the next room, Zoe is abandoning the comic on basement. This is like actually huge, right? This is a huge thing for Sap. Like, this is a huge time, like, for Sap to actually come back, get this, immediately go into basement, right? And then you're just like, and then Zoe's on God Pipes once again. So this would be a huge time for Sap to be able to come back. As Scorpion, I think, has found Jonah for the last time. Oh, he has not. He's still looking. Sap, just let him find Jonah on his own. Let him find Jonah on his own, man.
He's a big boy. He can handle it.
And Zoe got God Pipes, so that is Zoe's on his last task. And
Yep.
I mean, yeah, dude, that's unfortunate.
So now would be Zoe's time to go back to Bugle's basement if I were him. Because the rest of these are just going to take a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to Bugle.
But he's going to do the
try to
one
get-
cycle lock, because that's what he knows.
Yep, I mean, hey,
I-
you got it, you got it.
I can't blame Zoe because the comic not popping up twice
That would
is really weird. is really
Granted,
weird.
it's 100% because he went past the threshold, right? Like he went past the threshold, right? But yeah, dude. Honestly, Zoe could struggle here. We could see Zoe struggle, and that might be the deciding factor. But also, you do have Sap trying to redeem himself, right? Trying to get through it as fast as possible. But yeah, this level also being mean, but not as mean as it was last time, where he was just in the water constantly. He's got to be thinking of that. And as Zoe gets one cycle off, we got a little bit of a spoiler. I'll go tell them to put their pencils down. Does look like Zoe has taken it.
With Zoe putting in a GG in the bingo race chat. But that is that. Zoe is the winner of this matchup between him and Sap. And by the same margin too. That's honestly really rough. I can't help but feel bad. I think Sap probably saw the pencils down prompt, but just really wanted to get that last task in.
Yeah, as you should. You should just go ahead and, as we can go ahead and tell them to unmute. Go ahead and I think Sap's waiting.
There we are.
Okay, and we got both of them. Hello, nice GG's to Zoe, and nice race, you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chuck, you want to go ahead and leave with your questions?
Guys, what was the one thing that really tripped you up about this match? Zoe, if you want to go start first, and then I'll move on to Sap.
For me, the biggest thing that I think was tripping me up was I could not find a chain to save my life. Especially in game number 1, I tried so hard to find some way that I could just link tasks together, try and do as much as I possibly could, and it just, for some reason, I just couldn't find a chain anywhere. So I'm like, okay, I can't find a chain, so I'm just going to try and find as many tasks that I can do in one level. So that's when I started chaining things together, like Waterfront Warehouse without any skips and no web, so I was able to get a 2-for-1 there, doing the 10 lizards and the comic and hidden switches, was able to do both of those as one. So it's like, if I can chain things together, then I think have a lot better chance. But I could double up and do a 2-for-1, but I couldn't find any good chains, and that was really throwing me off.
Gotcha. Sap, how about you?
So I think both of those boards were absolute dog shit. I just want to point that out.
Facts!
Sorry for my language, but those boards were not fun. I can't even lie to you.
We talked about this a bit in the commentary. We
did.
They were time consuming. They were mean. Some of those tasks were just mean. It was terrible.
Yeah, and I was also just, for some reason, in my own head for no reason at all. It wasn't even because of anything. I just I messed up once, and then I just got in my head, and it was a snowball,
It happens to the best of us, for sure.
Yeah. I think bingo's not my thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, you done a good job. You can't down credit yourself for getting as far as you did, but also the getting inside your own head does suck.
I'm not downgrading myself at all. I just don't think bingo side of it. I mean, it's cool, but it really, I feel like I got punked when I opened that first bingo board, dude. I felt like I was being joked upon. That shit was goofy.
Trust me, we were commenting about it pretty much the whole time about how that board abysmal. Speaking of that board, Zoe, first board, whenever you were saying that you were trying to find chains and stuff to link together, just a route in general. Mainly I think you were the one who found a couple of the routes. But we were commenting about how time consuming some of the tasks were. Did you have a strategy on just kind of leaving the time consuming task for last, or just taking care of them when you in the middle, whenever you saw? What was that approach to the first board?
I guess for the first board, my thought that I had was like, okay, well, this board sucks. There's no getting around how terrible this board is. And I guess for me, I saw that there were a lot of time-consuming tasks. I saw that there was going to be no getting away from that. And so I figured, okay, what is the best way that I can handle some of these? And that's when I started looking for those levels that I could do 2 tasks in one level. So that way, even if I was committing to something that was a longer task length, I was able to utilize my time by getting through more than just one task at a time. And I could optimize that because I figured eventually it would come down to those longer tasks. And so I was hoping I could just optimize that as best as possible.
Right. And Sap, we were talking about the first board. Do you want to talk about the Revenge of the Rollers during that, in terms of just how long that task in general took you?
Oh, me pressing normal for some reason? That's what happened.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, we were talking about it that whole time about just how the maze, Lizard's maze did not fare. Yeah,
Zips just weren't lining up, and that sucks, man. I'm sorry.
It's alright, man.
Chuck, you got any more questions?
Well, while we're talking about tasks that gave us a bit of trouble, Zoe, how is that Bugle's Basement comic?
I don't know, like, because I know that there's 3 things you have to web, but I could not, like, I got to it and I'm like, where's the 3rd thing? And I feel like there was supposed to be fog as an indicator, but it just wasn't there. And so I panicked and I was like, okay, I got to try and figure this out. And then I was like, you know what? I know, because my plan was to do Bugle's Basement into Sewer Cavern. Like, I was going to end it on Sewer Cavern again. I thought that was going to be really funny. And I thought also, I knew that those were ones that I could do relatively quickly. And so that was what I was going for. But then when I couldn't figure out what was going on with the Bugle's Basement comic, I panicked and was like, okay, I obviously don't remember how to do this, so I'm just going to pivot. And I was like looking through, I'm like, none of these are other good tasks. So I was like, I guess one cycle.gawk it is, even though I did not practice it at all prior to either of these. So to get it twice in a row, I was very happy with myself for that one.
That was pretty good. And our theory about the comic is that we think you passed the steam jets and was trying to activate it from behind, and I think that somehow messed things up. I've never seen anyone like go past the steam jets and then turn around and try to grab the comic. That's what I was seeing anyway.
I did that because I wanted to make sure that I actually activated all the steam. I was like, if all the steam is not actually activating properly, then I figured that was my problem on the first restart. And then when I still didn't get it, I'm like, all right, that wasn't the case, so we're done.
That was very weird for sure. Then with that, I don't have any more questions. Fetty, anything from you?
That's it. We could obviously I could be like, hey, so are you excited for your next race? I don't think we have your next opponent, right? For your own.
No, we do not have my next opponent. I think it's either the loser between you and Spyron, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it could be the me and Nilo. But
oh yeah, it's Soda and Spyron.
Yeah, Zoe hasn't been paying attention. But
bro, life has been so wild for me. You don't even know.
But yeah, what I was gonna say is Sap, do you want to shout anybody out? Do you want to give any thoughts on the turn?
I had fun. I'm big chillin'. I'm good.
All right. Big chillin'. Zoe, do you have anything else to say before we wrap things up?
I mean, as always, this tournament's been a blast. It feels weird to be, like, this being Zojalyx's Bingo Bonanza, but also, like, not really being all that involved outside of, like, the initial prep of the tournament. But, I mean, I just give huge shout-outs to you guys as a community, because the fact that I can literally say, hey, I'm going to do a bingo tournament, and then I don't have to do anything besides the initial rule set. Like,
don't even
huge shout-outs to... like the entire community for stepping up and just kind of running with it. Like Spyron, who's been massive help on the TO side and the production side. Fetty, you've been really great on commentary. Chuck, you've been amazing on commentary as always. And just everybody who's come out and ran on this tournament and been a part of it. Like I'm continually blown away by just how this community always steps up for so many different things.
I will say, even though I didn't get the W in bingo, at least I got that world record recently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, sir.
Good
Shout out-
for you.
Yeah, shout out to our 16 world record holder.
But no, congrats on that. I'm glad somebody else.
Somebody
decided
actually
to take,
ran it.
Somebody took it seriously enough to do better than a 36 something on it, or 39. I don't know.
It's a
But-
39. I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna say it, but
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. It's a
my
meme
first
category.
run was a 37, and I was like, I could surely. And then Zoe rejected it, but. You know.
You didn't show the comic screen at the end.
I
couldn't
know.
This is
verify.
rules.
Yeah, dude, crazy. Who needs the verifiers, right, Sap? All right. Anyway, yeah, I think this is where we're gonna come to a close, though. Chuck, as always, even though Spyron should be saying this right now, and hey guys, appreciate myself for being here. Thanks, chat. But yeah,
I appreciate you being here, for sure.
Hey, you know what, and I appreciate you, Chuck.
I'll remain silent.
All right.
Fine.
Damn.
You know what, Sap?
I
I'll
love-
be the bigger
I love
guy.
it.
I appreciate you being here, and you
I
too,
love
Zach.
all of you. You guys are all great, and thank you for letting me run.
Hey, and we appreciate you, Sap, for holding it down, and also for being a good sport.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, until next time, everyone. So long, and we will see y'all later.
Bye.
Good night.